Annyeonghaseyo! Welcome to Afternoona Delight, where Leah, Megan, and Amy, romance novelists, and your K-romance guides. So grab some dekboki and listen to your new favorite unnis.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hi there. How is everyone? We're back together.
I know, it's been a while. I
know.
missed you guys. Because last time it was just Leah and I talking about Squid Game and ranting about capitalism for an hour and a half.
I'm kind of excited to listen to that one.
It was a good one. We had I edited it, so it was kind of fun to listen back through.
I laughed at the Instagram post today because it's a Squid Game deep dive with Leah and Megan. Like, make it very clear Amy's not here today. So if you hate listening to Amy, you're safe.
Yes,
No, I don't
that was
know.
what we did. That's what I was thinking. That was my hope. I was like, everyone, it's safe. She's not here.
That means there's so much toe
I
sucking.
was like, we don't usually advertise.
I don't know why I did it. I really think
Like, there should have been a not Amy in parentheses with that.
And then, thank God.
Right, thank God. She's
I don't
gone.
know why I did it. I think that when I was typing it, there was space, and I just wanted to fill the space. So I said,
Make the font bigger, Megan.
I know. I'm sorry.
Which is funny because I usually do the Instagram posts on Wednesdays, for the new episodes, and I just forgot what day it was. And so Megan luckily got it up mid-morning, and then I went and looked, and I was like, we need to announce she's gone.
Megan is cut off from social media.
A very special episode without Amy.
I knew something was weird and I couldn't figure out what it was, and that's what it was. Because when I looked at it, I was like, something's odd. Oh, well.
I'm so sorry. I really don't know why I did it. I really don't. I think I'd only had one cup of coffee, and I was like, I don't know. Sorry.
It was really funny.
How was your gum surgery? I mean,
anyway.
Like everyone is bleeding.
When this episode drops, it will have been 2 weeks since I had my new gums. I will say this was, out of the 4, this was the best one for a couple of different reasons.
Wait, is this the last one now?
I'm done. I'm done.
Awesome.
Unless
Okay.
I start getting more recession. But that's, you know what, folks? Public service announcement. Wear your night guards when you sleep if you're a teeth clencher like I am, because that's what contributes to gum recession.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, it was really good, because he saved the smallest one for last, where it was the least surface area that needed to be grafted, which means, cover your ears if you guys get grossed out, they take less tissue from the roof of my mouth. So there's less surface area messed up there. And then less stitching has to go on in the actual gum pocket that he makes.
Okay.
I listened to him talking about what he's doing with his assistant. I'm like, I wish I could not hear any of this. But I do get, so here's the thing. I do get sedated. I go in for what's called a pre-sedate, where I get a tiny little pill that I don't know what it is. I thought it was Xanax at first, but when I asked the nurse what it was after I had taken it and really could remember nothing, I said, is this Xanax? She's like, no, it's similar though. It's blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's whatever they give you in a doctor's office that's it's not just anti-anxiety, but it's also muscle relaxing. Okay. So the first time I got the procedure done, my friend Mindy took me and she was super excited. I gave her full permission, record me if I get silly. I did not. I did not.
You're like, I was sophisticated.
Yeah. No, I was fine. I was just normal. And then my dad took me the other 3 times. And while this is no shade to my dad, but when my friend Mindy took me, she stayed in the office and chilled for the 90 minutes because I have to go in an hour early to take the pill, and then they do the procedure. My dad drops me off and goes and has coffee and reads the newspaper because he still reads a hard copy newspaper. So anyway, my daughter is texting me, and I apparently got loopy for the first time. So I texted her and I said, so it's Xanax they gave me, I think. It was not, like I said. And I feel very heavy and slow just sitting in the waiting room. And she wrote back, oh my. And I said, I notice it a lot when I adjust myself in my chair. I'm dead weight. Ha ha ha, she says. How do people take this stuff and function? Because I thought it was Xanax, but it's not. So it's probably not something that you would take on the regular. Right. But I don't know because I don't remember what it was. How do people take this stuff on and function? I'm like Kristen Wiig on the plane in Bridesmaids. If you've seen that movie, then you know. I said, these would be great for sleeping, but I'd probably find a way to cross the veil and talk to the dead.
What the? Where did you even get cross the veil?
And then she's got ha ha in all caps. I said, what if I'm in the chair getting all my work done and I just see a ghost in the corner watching? And she said, tell it I say hi. And I said, okay. And that was it.
That is a lot for you.
That is. Like, that was pretty loopy. And
That's loopy for Amy.
yeah. And I did not remember. Like, I talked to her like the next day. And I was like, I wrote you some pretty silly stuff, didn't I? And she's like, yeah. And I went back and looked. I'm like, oh, I'm talking about crossing the veil. Okay. Like, I wasn't expecting that. It's really weird. And then like then I have to go to Walgreens afterwards and like get my prescriptions. And my dad, took me for that. And then he drops me off at home. Again, love my dad, but like just drops me and I walk to the door. Like,
Yeah.
No making sure I don't like trip over my feet when I get inside. I'm fine, Dad. I love you. You're great. But yeah, it was a funny day. But yeah, it's done. I'm so happy. I'm a week out of it now. When this airs, I'll be 2 weeks out of it. And like no pain at all. Just annoying threads hanging from the roof of my mouth.
Okay, enough. Because that's really just like good detailing. I love that that's Leah's line. Like,
right.
That is her line in the sand.
She'll suck the shit out of someone's toes.
Yeah,
she can't.
I don't want to hear
threads.
about your loose flesh threads in your mouth. Okay, so let me tell you.
It's my stitches, not my flesh.
Okay, well, whatever. Ugh. So, if I may, I've realized that there's certain things that I get the ick from. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like,
you can watch the violence. Like, it's funny. Like, my son got the ick when I was talking about it today too, and I'm like, you watch everything. But yeah.
So my ick that I had today is I made a public spectacle of myself. When I mean a public, outlandishly public spectacle of myself. And even me saying it will not like conceive like visually what I believe happened. I will do my best.
I'm so excited for
my
this.
God. So I get the ick on certain things. There's very few things, but there's certain things I get the ick on. One thing I get the ick on is dog vomit. And so when dog vomits,
rightfully so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You would imagine.
Fair.
You would imagine. Fair. Except when my dog vomits, it just looks like kibble. Like it just looks like kibble. Like it doesn't look.
My cats have done that before.
Because they don't chew.
Yeah.
They just swallow. And when I see it, there is not even an instant. I immediately throw up. Like I don't even like a child could barf on me. I could be covered
up when your dog throws up.
I could be covered in human vomit, and I've got like a 30% chance of throwing up. Like 70% chance I can manage. Oh, but I see the instant. I even catch a visual of that dog vomit, and and I don't even have like I don't even get second. I don't even get like it. Just I go into immediate.
How is this brand new information?
So things. So my youngest daughter, I like dropped her off to get some stuff in the house, and I had to run her to theater practice. And she comes out and she's like, the dog threw up on the landing. And I was like, and Nick's in Tahiti. So I'm like, motherfucker. And I was like, okay, I know this about myself, but I also have warning. Like, I'm not like coming into a room unguarded and catching it. Like I can prepare as I go inside. I'm just going to take a breath. I'm going to see it. I'm going to get a bag. I'm going to figure it out. I open the door. I see it. I turn out, and I'm at my front door. I turn around and it is like a fire hose. I just start spraying vomit. And I'm not saying I start gagging. It's shoot. And I'm trying to catch it in my mouth. And by me trying to catch it, it sprays further. I like project it further. And it shoots. It shoots like a fire hose off my balcony down to the street. And then neighbors start coming by and they're walking their dogs. People I know and talk to. Like two people. One guy went by and then another go by. And they're like, hi, Bob. Hi. And meanwhile, I'm like, like loudly, like not quietly, because I don't quietly throw up either. I'm not like, I'm like, at my front door, echoing. It's echoing off the neighbor houses, and it's shooting in my mouth like a movie.
I cannot, like, my cats do this at least once a day.
I wouldn't be able to have them.
Does the cat ever vomit? Well, he probably does it outside.
I have not seen the cat vomit. If the cat ever vomits, I'm fucked. I mean, I'm about to throw up.
How many years have you had this cat and you've never seen the cat vomit?
too.
He might throw up outside.
That's
Or
what I'm
my
saying. He
cats
probably
don't
does it
vomit.
outside.
Well, like, so who cleaned up this vomit then?
Well, first I had to take the hose to the porch and the yard.
So you
For
don't get
your
icked out
vomit.
by
For my
human vomit. Like,
I mean, I don't
which I think is so much grosser.
Right.
Than
No, it
kibble
is.
vomit.
Impurity, like, it is grosser. I let it happen. I mean, I just got a hose and I cleaned up my own mess because I was like, obviously that's disgusting and I can't just like leave my house drenched in vomit. Like the neighbors and like the fact that it was two men, but like I know both of them. I know their dogs. Neither of them, they're both like, like walk faster, walk faster. Nobody was like, are you okay? I was at my front door going like this, echoing with projectile vomit shooting out of my face.
I love how I get yelled at for talking about a stitch hanging in my mouth.
No, don't say hanging.
See, I could clean up my cat's vomit every day, all day. Like, that doesn't bother me at all. It just smells like tuna. It's fine.
Oh,
But human vomit.
Okay,
So I'm
vomit's way
like, I'm a sympathy vomiter. So
I can get sympathy vomit, but I just have a.
This is our Valentine's episode.
I know.
I'm just going to tell this story and then we're moving on. But just a few weeks ago, okay, so my daughter recently got her ears pierced. She's 11. And somehow the front gem of like the piercing
you
stud.
talked about this.
Yeah, I don't think I talked about it on the podcast, did I?
Okay.
Because I know I told
it was
you
in
guys.
Slack because
So
I shared a similar story.
Somehow the front of it got pushed back into her ear hole. So you couldn't see, and you could see there was like blood pooled in the front. Like you knew it was in there. You could see it.
We have to put a trigger warning on this episode.
I know, I'm sorry. But like we could not
episode.
leave it like that. Like she's really sensitive to this kind of stuff, which, well, who wouldn't be? But so she's like freaking out. And then she's like, it's fine. We'll just leave it. I'm like, Hazel, you cannot leave it. Like this has to be dealt with. So I'm trying to deal with it. She won't let me touch it. So I'm like, I leave the bathroom. Like I said to my husband, I was like, Neil, you have to deal with it. He goes in the bathroom. He's trying to deal with it. All of a sudden I hear, bleh, and he's like, get the trash can. She starts throwing up. She's full white. Like, cause he's trying to push the earring through the front, which has to be done. Like, we have to fix this problem. I go in the bathroom. There's just puke all over the bathroom. Then I'm sympathy gagging. I had to leave. So I'm like, no help to him because now I'm sympathy puking. And it was just a fucking mess. Fortunately, I had to leave. I was like, I'm no help. I'm sorry. But there was like, she had just had a smoothie. There's like smoothie vomit all over the bathroom. It stinks. And
I can't believe this is our banter.
So we are gonna put a trigger warning.
We are. But he fixed her earring, by the way. Like, Neil to the rescue. He got the earring.
You have to birth it out of the hole.
He basically had to birth
because the same thing happened to my daughter. Yeah, it's so gross.
Anyway, so that's it. And now we're going to talk about Valentine's Day.
Well, you asked how they got cleaned up. So I do want to give a resolution.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the resolution is that my child I was impressed with the hustle.
Good.
She was like, I will come and do it.
Your middle?
You pay. Yeah. No, my baby, Poppy. She's 9. She's like, I will do it if you pay me.
That's
and I was
incredible.
Like, okay.
What a hustler.
I was like, I'll give you $5. She's like 30. And I was like, no, I can't give you 30. And she's like, okay. She's like, are you going to do it? And I was like, Poppy.
What? It's her dog too.
And then she was like, 30. And I get to tell you no on my next chore. And I was like, you know what? In negotiation, I have no bargaining chip here.
You have nothing.
Yeah, I've got nothing. And she knew it. I was like, you do what you need to do, baby. You got that money.
Yeah.
You got it.
She's going to be president. That's amazing. Good for her.
She was just so funny. She was like, I will take 30 and no chore.
No chore. Incredible. Incredible.
That's impressive. And
I can't believe we talked about
dastardly.
Yeah, very dastardly, which is why I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so impressed.
So anyway, happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yeah, let's talk about love.
We're so sorry. How about something better? It's Valentine's Day in 2 days, right? I have a book that just came out yesterday.
Woohoo!
Once this Once this releases. It didn't really come out yesterday.
It came out.
It comes out on the 11th.
Okay.
So this drops on the 12th.
There you go. So it'll be out.
It will be out. So pretend you didn't hear that, everybody. Pretend this is really, we're really talking on Wednesday the 12th. Book came out yesterday. It's called Cowboy of My Dreams. It's got everything Leah loves. 2 singers. There are songs written, songs sung together, duets. It is a celebrity romance and a cowboy romance.
Oh, I love it.
And a second chance romance, because that seems to be all that I write. So do with that what you will. Yeah, really excited that just released. It's my favorite book of the series, I think. And I don't usually say that, but I had a lot of fun writing this one. So yeah, I hope you'll read it. Cowboy of My Dreams.
Oh, well, congrats. Everyone go get it.
Yay.
Okay. So yeah, we're getting in the romance direction. And now we're going to get to the actual episode.
We are so sorry.
Yeah, I talked about my surgery, but come on, that's like apropos. I had a story to tell. I did not know the direction it was going to be going after that.
Look, sometimes life
I have some regret.
Sometimes life is puke and surgery. Other times it's love and rainbows. All right.
So we're going to get to the love and rainbows portion
We are.
of today's show. Okay.
And if you had to skip ahead, here's your timestamp to begin. Well,
There you go. We will definitely put a timestamp in the show notes, because nobody needs to be forced into sympathy vomit just by listening to us. Okay. So however you believe it began, whether to commemorate the death of St. Valentine or to celebrate the Lupercalia, a fertility festival dedicated to Faunus, the Roman god of agriculture, Valentine's Day is upon us. And in the spirit of how this podcast began, 3 romance writers falling in love with K-drama romance, today's episode is all about the many facets of love. While today's episode is not a deep dive of any particular drama, dramas will be mentioned, drama characters will be mentioned, and drama plot points might even be mentioned as well. This is all just to say that while we do not aim to spoil anything for you, articulating why we love a particular character or drama might give away something you haven't seen yet, so we'll do our best to warn you if anything gets spoilery. So to kick things off, and this can be anything, it doesn't have to be like K-drama related, but what is something that you love right now at this very moment?
So for Christmas, Neil and I bought ourselves an indoor gardening system. Okay.
oh God, I saw this picture.
Oh, yeah. It is like 3 levels. It has like a water pump. There's like running water through all the levels. It's very fancy. It's very cool, because the plan is that we want to be able to grow our own like herbs and lettuces. And I kill everything that's outdoors. And this has been very exciting, because we just set it up on Saturday. And the sprouts are coming like really quick. Like a lot of these are sprouting. They've already sprouted. And it's very funny, because I've been sending what I call sprout pick updates to my group chat of my college friends like every day. Like I just keep sending them. I'm like, sprout pick update, and they're like, thanks, Megan. Like,
So here's a question. How do you determine your friends from college get the sprout pick updates, but we do not?
I don't
Right?
know.
Like, how are you deciding like
I
where to
mean,
curate
first of all,
that?
I'm glad we don't. I'm glad we don't.
Me too. Let me be clear. Me too. But the fact you just knew instinctively not to lead with that with us.
I know. I know my friends, and I know that they would be interested in it. And you and Amy, I think, would be like, "Why are you sending this to us? Like, we
Are
don't."
they avid gardeners, your friends?
Well, I have one who grows a lot of houseplants, but we
Okay.
also collectively have another friend who we saw that she had one of these systems in our house, and we had like talked about how cool it was. So now that Neil and I have one, I was like, "Hey guys, look, I got one too. I feel very fancy." And it's just funny. Like, my best friend is like, my son wants this, but he wants to grow stuff to sell. And my husband's like, well, we'll sell him some of our lettuce at wholesale. So that's what I'm loving right now. And one thing that was really cute is that, because I'm terrible at growing things. Everyone who knows me knows. So back when I worked for my newspaper, my local newspaper right out of college, I had written a column that was kind of for the lifestyle section, but basically I would review kid books that fit in with like the time of the year. So like the season, the holiday, whatever. And I guess at one point, it was probably for like a spring time, I had written a column about, I think it was like a book about plants or a kid book about growing. I don't know. But the whole like beginning of the column is me talking about how I can't grow anything, about how I kill everything and have a black thumb. And I didn't know this, but my mom apparently had like, she had taken every single of these features that I had written and cut them out and laminated them, which is very cute. So she had this whole stack, and she's like, look, you have like I thought this was appropriate to send to you today, which was really, really sweet. But anyway, so yeah, I'm loving my gardening system. We have cute little baby sprout lettuces. They're like smaller than my tooth, but they're there. They're so tiny.
So my two local besties are big gardeners. And when we hang out in the summer, it is like the worst time of my life because anything comes up about their gardens, I'm like shut out of the conversation for like 20 minutes. And I'm
I
like,
would be
you
too.
two can fuck the fuck off.
Yeah, I would be the same way. I'd be like, I don't know. I don't even know what plants I have in my front.
I'm like, I live in a townhouse. I don't even have a yard. If I did have a yard, I'd still not be gardening.
Right, same.
So there.
Yeah.
Leah, how about you? What are you loving right now?
Fan fiction.
Good answer.
So fan fiction for me, I have been just developing such an appreciation for, like, it's literally, I think I'm at the point that I'm at 90% fan fiction, 10% fiction reading, 95-5, I think. And it's funny because I see like, there's just so much denigration to all things fun and happy in this world. Fan fiction's one. And what is it about fan fiction I like? I think it's that, like, first, it's just fun to have people having fun. I don't know, like, they're just doing, like, you're just doing it to enjoy and have fun. Some of it is very good and, like, very competently written. Some is not. I don't give a shit. I think what is also fun is, like, figuring out where sometimes it's not necessarily who's, like, technically the best writer that makes a compelling story. And so I've been finding that to be fascinating, kind of like how I found K-drama to be fascinating. Like, what is it that makes it good? And so what are the elements of, like, a fanfic that I find personally compelling? And sometimes you are like, wow, this writing is really beautiful or it's really evocative. But a lot of times you're like, they are getting to the butter to, like, such an essential core. And that's, like, I feel like it really helps me think about writing and writing genre fiction because you're just like, okay, like, what is, and then also there's just so, I mean, this is true for indie spaces too. We tend to write in traditional publishing spaces, or at least two of us do. Megan, you don't. So you're out kind of in more of, like, the, like, fun, anything goes type of stuff. And I think that, yeah, for me, I mean, I'm going to say, I think I might even have, I think I have become almost burned out on Omegaverse. I really do. I think I might have almost run my course with Omegaverse. Like,
fair. I
could circle back to
it,
but I think I'm going to be needing a break. Like, I think I need I need my next, like, crack loophole to get into.
Okay.
Because
I'll give you some. I know all the crack loopholes.
I think I need new crack loopholes to get into.
I love it. You should get into monsters.
I mean, I should try it because, you know what? It could be like Office Romance, where I'm like, you know what? I'm not into monsters. And then I'm like, you know what? There's nothing I love.
I guarantee once you start, you will just go hard.
Yeah. So I will give it a try. But I will say that, like, for me, it's fun. It is. And then the other thing I like is, like, some are like 2,000 words. Some are like 700,000 words. And you're like, and I love it. That's so fun. Like, you're just like, you got to just write forever. Like, 1,000,000 words is at your doorstep.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, I've just been finding a lot of, it's just fun for me, and we all need fun. And so I feel like I, like, watch K-drama, I write a bit, and then I just, like, knock off into, like, you know, archive of our own and just, like, go for it. And I think, dare I say, some of the most creative and innovative writing is happening in those spaces. And if people want to make fun of it, I literally don't give a shit.
Hey, that is where Manacled came from, which is going to be Alchemized now. And that book was fan-freaking-tastic. Same thing with, I mean, the only fanfic that I've done is Dramione, but it's fantastic. There's another one, Draco Malfoy and the Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love. That's being turned into an actual book, and I forgot what the new title is going to be. And I feel bad because I forgot who the author was.
I'm starting writing fan fiction as well.
Do it.
And I will say that has been really fun because I don't think there has been a time in recent memory where I have written, and I'm not going to share, like, I'm not going to tell you my name. Not because I'm embarrassed, but because it's, like, fun
it's
to
for
not.
you.
Yeah,
it's for you.
And I haven't had any, I think I needed some place to reconnect and do, like, and I am here for that monetization. Don't get me wrong. Like, I want to write and make money and, like, have a livelihood. Like, that is important to me. But there's something really fun about fully anonymous. Nobody, like, you know, I'm just doing my thing. And then also that, yeah, I can just kind of, like, play around and not, I think I really needed that.
I
So
love that.
that's my fun.
Yeah, I love that.
So mine is something that is super fun, but also very lonely, except for now I'm sharing it with my daughter. Well, I was always sharing with her, but she's not here. And that is Severance, the Apple TV Plus show Severance. And if you are one of my Severance people, please talk Severance theories with me all day long. I'm here for it. So that is really the only thing that I'm watching other than K-dramas. I watched Supernatural with my son. That's our show that we watch together. We've got 15 seasons to go through. We just finished season 3. So he asked me today, he's like, do you think we'll finish? I'm like, yeah, when you're like 22. And then Severance. So this is a TV show. The first season dropped 3 years ago. And we had to wait a long time. There was the writer's strike. There was a lot of stuff getting in the way of season 2 coming. But the gist of the show, that I'm just tossing it out there for anybody who hasn't watched it yet, because I just want to talk to everybody about it, is there's a procedure that you can get done called severance. And what happens when you have severance, when you get severed and you work at this place called Lumen on the severed floor. And when you get severed, when you take the elevator down to the severed floor at Lumen, something happens as you go down the elevator where your life outside of Lumen turns off. And that's called your outie. And then your innie turns on. And all your innie knows is what happens when they're at work from 9 to 5. And then they go back in the elevator, they go up, and they turn back into their outie again. It's wild. It's crazy. It stars Adam Scott. Like, who doesn't love Adam Scott? And it's one of those things, like, if you were in the early 2000s, if you were a Lost watcher like I was, where you're just watching shit that you're always theorizing about, basically, like, I have fallen into Severance talk, and that's all I go to TikTok for is Severance stuff. And that's all my daughter and I are doing right now, is like trading like TikToks back and forth. I talked to her on the way home from work today, and all we did was talk Severance. And now she's going back and rewatching season 1 with her roommate, because her roommate's never watched it. It is just one of those things that, like, it's my entire personality right now. And nobody in my day-to-day life watches it. Nobody that I see day-to-day. I mean, Connor watches it with me. Yeah, and Connor watches it with me, but he does not get obsessed with the same stuff that I do. Like, there are shows that he gets very obsessed with and that are like totally his thing. He likes Severance, but he doesn't need to live Severance like I do. So anyway, it's super fun to like geek over it with my daughter. My daughter is a film major in college right now, and she like loves looking at she loves looking at story elements and reveals and shit like that. So it's super fun. So yeah, that is what I'm loving right now. I'm watching Severance. I'm listening to the Severance podcast, and I'm in rabbit holes on Severance talk. And next up, I guess, is probably going to be Reddit. So
I think Neil watches Severance, so I will ask him. I think he does. We don't watch any of the same shows.
If Neil wants to talk,
I will. I'll
tell
let you know.
him here.
He might be on his like 5th rewatch of The Wire. He does that once a year. He rewatches things. So I don't know what he's currently watching right now, but I will ask him. I think he watches Severance. But I'm glad you're enjoying it, because I have heard amazing things. So
yeah, it's the best thing on TV in the US, I will say. All right. So back to Valentine's Day. Do you celebrate it? If so, like, what do you like about the holiday? And if not, what do you not like about the holiday?
No. I barely know what day it is. Like, I can't keep track of like some random holiday in the middle of February. I just don't care. My husband and I never really liked Valentine's Day. I don't really want him to spend money on a card or flowers that I'm going to throw away. My cats eat flowers, so like we don't have flowers in the house. Like, what's the point?
Because you know what would happen? They'd throw up.
They throw up, or they would die because they're allergic. So yeah, we just never do it. And I don't think it's because we're not romantic. I think it's just I don't like being told when I'm supposed to be romantic. Like, don't tell me what to do, Hallmark.
I'm indifferent. I don't. Okay, this is gonna make me sound safe space. Nick doesn't listen to this podcast.
Yeah,
I like getting flowers. I'll never turn down flowers. But here's my thing: I don't like getting flowers and then having to deal with flowers. Like, and so I've got to figure out like how to communicate that. Yes, bring me flowers. I mean, I guess this is how I communicate. Yes, bring me flowers. Then arrange them in a vase and give them to, like, Nick comes back and he's like, here it is. And it's all in plastic and wrapped up. And then I'm like,
Right.
I just feel like I'm
and then
always
it's a
like,
job.
my next thought is always like, thank you, because you can't be like, I don't want something else to do. And so I have to like go deal with it. But every time I'm like, where's the vase? Where's the this? And I'm like, am I being a brat? But now, you know what? It's
No, you're
2025.
right.
I'm going to speak my truth.
Yeah.
I want flowers, but I want them arranged. Just give them
Fair.
to me all nice and pretty and then be like, there they are. That's actually like closing the loop and like making it. Otherwise, I'm like, here's the ingredients for a cake. We're almost there.
Yep.
Like, do it. So I just want the whole
Happy
thing. So
birthday.
thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for validating that, Amy. Because for me, every time I'm
100%.
like,
No, that makes sense.
and it's very sweet. And every time I'm like, okay.
I hate finding the vase. I fucking hate finding, like, I hate it.
Yeah. Or I'll be like, the vase didn't like get clean great last time. So I've got
No,
to
it never does. I just
yeah.
dump it out and put it away.
Yeah. So then
And then
every
you
time I'm
have
like,
to trim the stem.
yes. And then there's like foliage. I
You
mean,
got
I
to
just
put in sometimes you get like a thorn if they didn't trim them. And then you got to put in the plant food.
The packet. Yeah.
This
whole
is
packet.
a first world. This is a first world problem. I get it.
It is.
So that I find, and the other thing that I always dread with Valentine's Day, because again, look, if I'm going to be just I am a Virgo. I am a hater to my core. I really am a hater. The Valentine's Day cards for my kid. I still have a kid who has to do the class Valentines.
Oh.
And so every time I'm like, oh shit, it's February 13th. I forgot the class Valentines. Run to the drugstore. What's the last shittiest box that's left on the shelf that's like, whatever. Then sit down and like make sure that like, no kids left behind. And I'm just like, every time I'm like,
No.
this is so like inorganic. And then like, I'm like, deep down, none of these kids want this. They just want the candy that some of the kids are sticking in the thing. But then I try to remember when I was young and I had my box and I would decorate it at school and I would get the Valentines in it, I'd be stoked. But I was still there for the candy mostly.
Yeah.
So I'm like mid, it just feels like work to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm single. So I do not celebrate Valentine's Day. I used to celebrate it with my kids when they were littler. I used to have like, a little chocolate something and a little like plushie for them. When I was married, I think we did like the obligatory gifts, which I'm like, I don't want, like, I've got like coming up, like the next question's about love languages. So like mine is not gifts. So like I don't give a shit about flowers. Like chocolate is always nice, but then I'm like, fuck, I'm going to eat this whole box of chocolate and hate myself. Like, yeah, no, it's not for me. I feel like if I did have a partner like you, Megan, I don't want to be told this is when we have to like be good to each other. Like,
yeah, I don't like
it
that.
should just be it should be all the time, or it should be like spur of the moment, fun little things. But yeah, no holiday for it. Gifts are lovely. Like you're a nice person for giving me a gift, but like, yeah, I mean, I'll just dive right into it. Do something for me. That's what I want. Acts of service. Do something for me, especially if it's something that I don't want to do for myself. Clean the vomit, go get my oil changed. Like stuff like that. Like I'm throwing it out there for like when I do have a partner, do all of the car stuff for me.
Right.
And I will feel loved.
Yeah.
Empty the dishwasher and I will feel loved. I was thinking about it because I was like, I immediately when I wrote down like, what is your love language? I answered it myself. I'm like, acts of service. But I'm like, you know what? I want to be sure. And I did a love language quiz. And I was like, all the questions that were coming up, I was like, oh yeah, no, do this for me. I don't care about the gifts. I don't care about holding your hand. Like, do this for me.
Yeah. When I have a big aversion to like performative acts of romance. So
yes, it's performative. Yeah.
I don't like, and I'm not talking about K-dramas. So remember, we're separating fantasy of K-dramas from like the reality. Okay?
Absolutely.
So I had a boyfriend who in high school who like didn't really treat me that great when it was like the two of us. But then in front of other people, he would do these like random grand gestures. And then all the other girls would be like, oh my God, Megan, you're so lucky. And I'm like, but he's actually a terrible person. Well, he's not a terrible person. I'm sorry. I think he's a fine person now. I think he was a teenage boy that didn't know.
Right. They all are.
I still remember we had to, I'm such a dork. But we had to travel to New York for like this big orchestra conference type thing. And we went to go see Les Mis. And then we all had to get back on the bus. And like he was late getting on the bus. And everyone's like, where is he? Where is he? And then he comes on with this like big bouquet of flowers and he's like walking down the aisle of the bus.
Oh
and all
gosh,
the girls
that's so
are like,
embarrassing.
oh my God, he got you flowers. And he hands me flowers. And I'm like, well, first of all, what the fuck am I supposed to do with these? I'm like in a random motel. I'm like 17 years old. And it felt very performative because again, he probably just recently said some horrible thing to me. And so I still have this like personally have this like aversion to that. And I think Neil is like the opposite of performative acts. If we're in public, he like almost doesn't even speak to me. He just like lurks silently behind me. It's how he treats me alone.
Lurks silently
He
behind
does.
you.
He does. You think I'm wrong, but that's what he does.
No, I don't think you're wrong. I
Okay.
just love that description.
Because like I'm the one
I
who's talking-
100% can picture Neil doing that.
Yeah. So So anyway, so I have this aversion to performative acts of love, and I think that's why. Like that's obviously a personal thing, and not some people want that. I think.
So what is your love language?
So I actually don't know the love languages. Let me just say that.
Okay,
But
I'm
we can lay it
sorry.
out. Yeah, why don't we lay it out for listeners?
Well, I have what I consider my love languages. They're probably just not like the formal ones that you're talking about.
So there's acts of service,
Okay.
gifts, personal
Words of affirmation,
and touch, right? Like
personal touch, and
personal
quality
touch.
time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quality
Mine
time's
would
the last one.
definitely be acts of service. So my favorite thing that Neil does, if he's, let's say he's out like running errands. And first of all, Neil's very practical. So he's never going to buy me a gift that like I don't need or haven't mentioned. Neil does not do that. So, but if he'll be like, a good example, which I think I might have mentioned this on the podcast before. A while back, I had been using a deodorant that I won't name, but it did not
we know.
work. But you know which one I'm talking about. And he was like, and I just said, I don't like this deodorant. And he was like, and the next time he like went to Target, he like brought home this like full body deodorant. And he was like really proud of himself. He's like, I know you said you wanted to try different deodorants. I was like, you bought me full body deodorant? Like,
I remember
what?
this.
Yeah. And I was like offended. But then in another sense, he listened to me. He listened to me when I offhandedly said, I don't like this deodorant. And those are things he does all the time. And it's always something practical like deodorant. But he does that all the time. He truly does. So it like makes me think, oh, he's thinking of me.
And he's listening too.
Yeah. So I would say like, I don't know what this constitutes, but if like I really love someone, I want to cook for them. So my biggest thing, my act of service to other people is like making them food. That's like how I show my love.
I love that.
That's a great question too. Like, how do you show it? Because I'm like, ugh, I don't know. I don't know if I show love.
I'm like,
ever.
I feed you. Like to me, and like I get stressed out if my loved ones are hungry. I'm stressed. I don't know why. I've never been starved in my life, but I get stressed out if like people around me aren't fed well. I don't know what complex that is.
I would say for me, like acts of service has grown in importance for me, but I would say that like for me, I don't know if it's it's banter. Like that is like, for me, there's nothing better than if somebody's going to just sit and yap. Like if somebody will sit and yap with me about whatever, like
It's quality time too.
I don't like quality time. I'm like very neutral on though. I like my time and I'm not that interested in time. Like,
Yeah, no, when I was doing the quiz and all the time things came up, like, nope, I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need
Yeah. So I would say it comes down to words of affirmation. It's just that I feel like, again, that could look very tokenistic and performative. If somebody's like, you can do it. I believe in you. I this or this. And it just feels very like whatevs. Then I'm like, meh, that could, I mean, you might as well just like.
No, but something organic.
But
like,
if it feels very like heartfelt and there's something like behind it, or it feels like there's like just conversation, like for me, it's just very much like, yeah, can we have conversation? Can you make a person feel seen? I think that is probably my like ultimate love language. I would say that Nick's a gift giver, which I don't mind gifts. People give me gifts all the time, but like he's pretty good at like, I get like earrings, I get flowers. And so none of that's a no for me. But I would say, yeah, for me, I would say that like, yeah, what really makes me feel excited or like keyed up would be, and that's why I'm going to go with words of affirmation because it's like the verbal one. Yeah. But whatever it is verbal, like if I can just like get it, like my favorite thing is to just like honestly get into like lengthy conversations. And I generally am like, I'm like the most introverted extroverted in the world. So it is like that thing of like, I actually wanted to be with you out to do this because otherwise I'd be more than happy to be by myself. But like once I'm out and I'm going, I could go forever. I like never need to recharge my battery again.
So whether or not Valentine's Day is a favorite holiday, which it's clearly not for us, It is largely a celebration of one of our favorite things, romance, and more specifically, romance in entertainment, because that's what we're really here to talk about. So whether we are writing it, reading it, watching it, listening to it, whatever, why do you think that romance remains a staple of popular entertainment?
I mean, this is like a thesis, but I mean, I guess in a short way, I would say there's like there's a fantastical entertainment to it. It's the fantasy. You're selling a fantasy. That's what I think it is.
I think it feels good. And falling in love or that experience of a crush physically feels good. And so when you can have like that dopamine hit through romantic content, be it like the story, like when you get hit, when people are like, I get all the feels, you're getting to have that like interaction to that, like that primal feeling that feels really good.
Yeah, you're having that chemical reaction that happens when you actually do fall for someone. And that's, I love it. I love falling in love over and over again and then not having to worry about the rest of it. I mean, it's a fantasy, but it's also, it's not like so far out of reach type of fantasy, right? Like it gives you ideas of what, especially like for myself, for somebody who is single, it gives me an idea of like what I want out of a relationship and what I won't settle for, kind of thing. I love love. Like, why the hell do I keep writing about it, and I keep reading it. I love it. And I love being able to actually feel those feelings because they feel real when they're happening. And it's a great way to feel. Couple more things before we dive into K-dramas. So this is a really quick this or that. So just some Valentine's Day, like cliche type things. So if you were going to celebrate, do you want to celebrate with a Valentine or a Galentine?
Galentine, 100%.
Yep, 100%. I was funny because I was just talking to my daughter about that today.
Yep, Galentine. Chocolate or flowers?
Flowers. I don't like chocolate.
Chocolate. Don't give me flowers. My cats will eat them. Don't ever give
flowers.
Always get me flowers.
Valentine's Day card, thoughtful or wasteful?
I'm such a bad person. I'm gonna say wasteful. Don't give me a card.
I say it's wasteful.
Okay.
Cards in general. Like
I
cards,
feel bad. I stopped doing cards altogether. I'm like, stop it.
Fully depends. If it's a card where it's like the content is there and like somebody signs it at the bottom, like my people I know do this and they like it. For me, that would do literally nothing. But get me a card and like write something in it that like I give a shit about, that means something to me.
That
absolutely
is
thoughtful.
Yes.
And so
it's different.
And if the card's funny, bonus points if the card's funny or has like something witty with it, and then like you write something like sweet or cute or funny in it. Yeah, I love that stuff. I keep it those.
I'm going with what you said. I like that because I do have like birthday cards from like good friends that I've like kept like over the years because they have like very thoughtful like long messages in them and they're funny. So there you go. Couples massage or spa day on your own?
Spa day on my own. A couples massage is my worst nightmare.
Yeah, ugh. No, thank you. No, thank you. That sounds
absolutely
so awkward.
Did I tell you guys that I did a couples massage with my daughter when we were in Florida?
I do that. I would do a couples massage with a friend.
We didn't even acknowledge each other while it was happening. Like we were just there at the same time.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
I would do it with friends, but I would never want to be like, Nick, let's you and I go and get a couples massage.
I don't know if Neil would even tolerate a massage. I think he would be like, I can't do this touching.
Nick could do it, but I would not like. Nick would like it. Nick actually would be like, yeah, that sounds great.
I was gonna say
my worst nightmare.
It's right up Nick's alley.
So I did one on my honeymoon. And the worst part about it wasn't just like the cringe of being in a couples massage. The worst part about it was we did our honeymoon in the Riviera Maya in Mexico. It was beautiful. Our resort was beautiful, blah, blah, blah. But they say that you shouldn't drink like water from the tap, in Mexico because there's different like, bacteria in it and we react differently to it, whatever. And I didn't drink anything that wasn't bottled, but I ate fresh fruit and I got violently ill for 3 days on our honeymoon. The first 3 days. Day 4 was our massage. Day 4 was our massage. It was fine. I made it through. But like, tell me how to relax on a massage table when I'm afraid at any moment I'm going to shit myself.
That's awful.
That is very awful.
That was my one experience with a couples massage other than with my daughter, and I will stick to the one with my daughter.
Yeah, reasonable.
Restaurant date or order in?
Restaurant date.
Either restaurant date or cook myself. Order in's terrible. It's always bad because it's like the food isn't hot and it's just shitty. So I'd rather either go out to eat or I'll just cook everything myself.
Disagree. I like order in.
I like ordering in too.
I like snuggling on the couch, watching a movie together with my cats. And ordering
I like
in.
anything that's not me cooking. Anything that's not me cooking is my favorite.
I don't want to cook ever.
I will cook for you guys. If you guys come over, as my brother, as my brother said, I'll do a whole spread because it's like my love language to you is like, oh man, I would cook so much.
That's great. And somebody can cook for me. That's an act of service. So yeah.
I would love it. I would love nothing more than
I would feel very loved, Megan, if you cooked for me.
You know what's crazy? I was actually on Instagram and there was a reel and it was like this woman who's like, my day in the life as a private chef on a yacht. And I was like, that's my dream job. That is 100% my dream job. Are you kidding me? She's like doing these whole breakfast spreads. I was like, I could do that. Like, I totally could.
Okay, last one.
I'm sure it's hard, but yeah.
Breakfast in bed, sweet or messy as fuck?
Love it.
So this one's funny because at home, no, I don't want any food in my bed. But at a hotel, there is literally nothing better than breakfast in bed at a hotel. Like like room service, the big ass tray, the tiny little jellies, the butter pats in bed, my dream. But then I can like leave the bed.
I hate it.
Yeah,
I do not want to eat in bed. I still have like a visceral reaction to when we were at a Polycon in Washington, D.C. and Leah crawled into my bed with like a bag of popcorn.
I can't eat popcorn. I also can't eat popcorn like a normal human.
I've seen you eat popcorn and it is.
I was like, motherfucker, you are not eating popcorn in my bed.
It's just like kernels stuck to her face.
My mouth is like popcorn. My mouth is a suggestion. It's like I treat popcorn eating like my kids treat.
I feel like everybody does though. Can. Like when I go to the movies, like that's the big treat. Like if my kids and I go to the movies, we get movie theater popcorn because it's the best thing in the world. Yeah, I will have popcorn in my purse like months later.
Everywhere it gets everywhere. Why?
Gets everywhere. Yeah.
But
I
love
shirt, like when
breakfast
I get home
in bed. I like it in my bed. I like it in a hotel bed. So because my Mother's Day that I've had for now a long time because I'm smart for what I like is that I'm left alone. That's like how I celebrate Mother's Day. Like truly my joy. But they need to make me breakfast in bed before I get to spend the day alone. So I'm like, I will lay in this bed. You will bring me the food. All of you pitch in, make me breakfast, and then goodbye to you all. And every year I look forward to breakfast in bed.
Oh, see, I would be like, I'll make the breakfast because I don't trust anyone to make my breakfast. But then, this is like Neil. Like I make dinner at most nights. Neil cleans up. Not even a word, just cleans up everything I make. It's like the best. Like that's an act of service to me.
It is
that I cook this meal, and then he cleans up. Like I'm like, yes, that is. But yeah, that's me. But I don't want anyone else making my food at my house because they'll screw it up.
So I do think this is our personal world record we've had for how long we've talked not about K-drama.
I know. I'm so sorry.
I know.
I'm not even sorry. Okay. I don't know.
It's okay. I think it's okay that we have every once in a while we go a little.
We yap out. This is my love language. Is yapping.
I didn't think this was going to go this long. I mean, it was our talking beforehand that went long.
No, like what are we doing? We're just
like I don't have that many questions here.
I'm just in a yapping mood.
Yeah, me too.
So
actually.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're not going overboard.
We have an ice storm coming tonight, so my kids don't have school.
This is our time.
Our time. And you know what? Normally, like whatever, just skip if you're not into it. It's fine.
We're
it's fine.
There. We're almost there.
Listen to another episode. We have a million.
It's our show. Okay. So finally, before we dive into the K-drama portion of our celebration of love, what is a Western movie or show you'd recommend that has a great romance to get us in the mood for love?
Go ahead, Amy. Yours is a great choice.
Okay. So mine is Schitt's Creek, a very specific episode. The episode's called Olive Branch with Patrick and David. And David is in the doghouse with Patrick, his boyfriend, because they had like a fight where they were kind of broken up. And Patrick kept sending David gifts to like win him back. And David was very ready to get back together with Patrick, but he was enjoying the gifts too much. His love language was gifts. And so he kind of let it stretch. And then Patrick found out and was like, fuck you and fuck you. And so David, to make up and give Patrick a grand gesture, is he sat him down in their shop after hours and put on Tina Turner's Simply the Best and lip sync and danced to it and basically serenaded him. And it was fucking amazing. So swoony. I love this episode so much. But
I love Patrick and David.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of that show is Patrick and David.
Yeah, hands down. Okay, so I went with Pride and Prejudice. And I'm going to, people have big feelings about Pride and Prejudice, the show, or, the fact that I wrote a hockey puck and prejudice. But I'm going to start some controversy and say, for me, the 2005 version is superior.
100% agree.
Yeah, I'm not against Colin Firth, but I really enjoy the 2005 version. And the moment in the 2005 version that is the chef's kiss of the entire thing is the hand flex, where he helps her into the carriage, and then they zoom in on his little Arthur paw, and he does the little, you see his fingers jerk because he's touched her, and it's yearning. And for me, yearning, it's the mind fuck before the fuck is the it. That's the it, and the yearning is a big part of that. The yearning is the butter to me, and in that moment, you see how still waters run very deep, and he is just undone by this touch.
Matthew McFadden as Darcy is my favorite.
Love it.
Okay, so the one I'm mentioning actually isn't a romance by definition, but it's a love story, and I think it's important, so I'm going to talk about it anyway. And you guys made me watch this show. So I'm going to talk about Keeley and Roy Kent in Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
And look, there's a season 4, so maybe something will happen. Because in the end of season 3, I guess, they're not technically together.
Keeley chooses herself, which is even better.
Yeah. So, but this is the reason I love their love so much, is they had a fantastic romance. They had a fantastic partnership. They communicated very well. When they stopped communicating, that is when they broke up. But in the end, they understood, they were better people because of their romance. I fully believe that. I believe that Roy is a better person because of his life with Keeley, and Keeley gained so much confidence in herself because of her relationship with Roy. So to me, even though there wasn't this happy ending for them as a couple, it was a happy ending for them as individual people, which to me made the love story so important and so beautiful. And I just, and the chemistry between those two characters,
was so good,
off the charts. I just loved them so much. And it was also when they broke up, I feel as the audience, we were still rooting for them. I feel the show didn't make you pick sides, which I really liked. Even if you were annoyed at Roy, you were still oh, but I get it because he's Roy. Right. And I just loved it because I thought they still came away both as beloved characters.
Yes, I will accept that because it's not your typical definition of a love story where someone dies.
Right, correct. No one dies.
Everybody's fine. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's going to have a good future.
Yeah, it was they're both better people, and because of each other, and they and I think they both know it. They're hey, you know what? That relationship I had with you is why I'm where I am today. Why I'm in a better place today. So thank you for that. I feel they would say that.
Can I just say, if you want see another great romance like that,
Severance,
you should watch Schitt's Creek.
Oh, yes, I know. I do want to.
Not David and Patrick. It's Alexis and Ted.
Yeah, no, I will do that. It's on my list.
Okay, we did it.
Oh my God,
we're there.
Well,
halfway. Do we have a K-pop rec? Anyone for this week?
I'll do a K-pop rec.
Okay.
All right. So we have not done a K-pop rec of the week for a while. But you know what? I'm going to mention GOT7. So they have a new song out called Python. And look, GOT7 should be familiar with K-drama watchers. One of the members is Jin Young.
Yumi Cells.
Yep. Jin Young was in the second season, right? Yumi Cells. Okay.
He's the love interest of second season.
Right. And he's got some dramas coming out this year, I believe, now that he has been discharged from the military. He's a dreamboat. Wasn't there a thing with him? Oh, you guys didn't watch Chicken Nugget. I think there was a thing about him and Chicken Nugget too. So yeah, and the song is classic GOT7. It's sexy. I mean, these are full-grown men. It's great. It's great. GOT7's a classic group, very diehard fans as they should be. So yeah, I recommend Python by GOT7.
Okay, we have finally made it to the K-drama portion of our program. If you made it this far, thank you for hanging on through the vomit and all of the randomness. And we are here. So let's start big right out of the gate. What is the first K-drama that comes to mind when you think of romance done right? And how does it fit the bill?
So the reason I'm saying this one is because recently an author posted a clip from this drama on her Instagram stories, and she's like, should I be watching this? And I think I wrote back to her in all caps with a lot of exclamation points, yes. And it was Fight for My Way.
Yeah.
And so that is like, it was present in my mind because of that, but I still absolutely freaking love the friends to lovers romance of Fight for My Way. It had so many of the beats. Was it absolutely perfect? No, because no K-drama is. But in regard to the romance, I was so sold on their chemistry, why they should be together. The scene that always sticks with me is when Choi A-ra, the heroine played by Kim Ji-won, is upset, something about her job. It doesn't really matter. And she needs to cry, and she wants to cry alone. And Ko-dog-man, he knows her, and he covers her with like a coat or something so she can cry
It's
like
so good
without anyone seeing her. And that's an act of service. I mean, I love it. I love it so much.
I went with the first thing that came into my head, which I think is a honest answer, and it is Coffee Prince. And so the reason why I feel like it's done right is when I was saying, like, why do we watch romance? We watch to like have the feels. The feelings I had in Coffee Prince are some of like the most like the yearning in this drama, the confused yearning. It's drawn out in a believable way because the stakes are confusing and confronting. Like we have Hong Kyul, played by Gong Yoo, feeling like he's falling in love with a man, and that like that conflicting, confusing element of it. And then we have Unchan, who is, we're doing that like gender swap, like she's pretending to be a boy. Honestly, I still am going to stand that this is a non-binary character, and I always am.
Agree.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, I feel like you ultimately have like an element of queer love in it, but just that yearning. And there's a beach scene in this that I honestly think it's like my favorite scene in K-drama. And it's just like the emotions that Gong Yoo puts out in the scene of just like falling for someone and the excitement and then like the sheer terror of it haunts me to the end of my days.
And zero sex on the beach.
Zero sex on the beach, which, honestly good, because the yearning is better. Sometimes
no, I'm
yearning
saying
is
like
better.
we've gone into great detail about how sex on the beach is not good.
We have. I mean, in this, I would have taken. I mean, I was never going to say no to Gong Yoo in Coffee Prince doing anything, so I would have accepted sex on the beach for him too, even if it's not my personal dream.
Absolutely,
no crabs in the butt.
Personal dream.
So the first thing I thought of was the first drama, which was Crash Landing on You, the first drama that we ever watched. Because that was like really what had me like going crazy, like texting you guys, being like, what the hell? Like, why can't, shows in the West do romance like this? Like we have in Captain Ri and Ri Jong-hyuk, we have a sort of alpha hero who also is a beta. Like he can do both. He can be leader and strict and, gets people to do what he wants. And then he can cry. And looks so pretty when he cries, and I think that was like
pout in bed.
Yeah, and he can pout like a petulant child. Like it is the whole. And I'm not saying like again, this is the fantasy, right? I'm not saying that I believe that this is what life is like in South Korea. I know it's not, but like it is the absence of toxic masculinity in the characters that we fall for in these dramas again and again and again that is. For me, what I think is romance done right. Okay, who is the most recent K-drama hero that made you swoon?
I'm going to jump in on this one because you know what? I begged this drama. But you said the most recent K-drama hero that made me swoon. So I'm going to go with, while this drama to me did not in the end live up to my hopes and dreams, did this hero make me swoon? Yes. And that is Yoo Yeon-suk in When the Phone Rings. I mean, look, I don't care. I might not have loved how this drama went. I loved him. I would take him in his manufactured country fighting terrorism. Being a terrorist. I don't know. I don't care. The entire drama, I was attracted to him and swooning for him.
Yeah, he was very attractive the whole drama. Absolutely.
I'm going to say Udo-wan from Mr. Plankton. I mean, I don't really know where to start.
What else do you say? I mean, that's all you
just got to watch Mr. Plankton, but
a beautiful man.
A beautiful man. This showed his acting range. Like every little nook and cranny of Udo-wan, I think this showed. And I just fell for him so hard in this drama because he's so layered with this tough as nails exterior, but the mushy center. I mean, he is just all goo and slime in there. And I just absolutely loved him. And I would say that was the latest hero that just like reached my soul.
I just this past weekend binged episodes 1 through 7 of Love Scout.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I know. I need to start that.
And I don't know where Lee Jun-hyuk has been my entire life, but holy fucking shit, Eunho. Like I can't even with this guy. I'm going to mention Love Scout more than once tonight because I'm still like I'm half an episode away from finishing episode 9 now, and that's it. Like I'm waiting on episode 10 now. First of all, the man is 40 years old. I don't understand it. There's no way he's 40 years old, but he was born in 1984. Yeah, I mean, like I could talk. We'll do this. We have to do this drama for the pod because it's so good.
Okay.
But talk about like we've got mature hero and heroine. In real life, the hero is 40 years old. Heroine is 42. Like, thank you for giving us grown ass adults. Not that I don't like my high school dramas, I do, but like we've got some adults here and I'm loving it. Yeah, Eunho is. I find myself sitting alone watching this drama. And I'm smiling, and it's so ridiculous.
I love that.
Oh, I mean, I can't. I can't
love it
with
when like
man.
the screen will go dark, and you're just like grinning. At least
I'm
me,
just
I'm like
smiling. Yeah,
I'm smiling.
So I purposely like I was not tired at all last night. I'm watching in bed, and it's like midnight, and I have like 30 minutes left to go. But I know, so there's only going to be 12 episodes, so it's a shorter drama.
Okay,
I know that we're getting to a dark moment. Because I saw in the preview, and it's something that I predicted. Like it's not anything that I didn't think was coming. I even like messaged Sarah from Afternoona and asked, I'm like, if this is the like sort of dark moment, I'm like, oh, I don't hate it, but I hate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I knew that it was coming at the end of this episode. So I paused it halfway through. I'm like, I'm not going to have that be the last thing I watch before I go to bed. Like just in case it's because the fun and games right now with them just making bedroom eyes at each other across the office, like I can't. Okay. Anyway, he is this hero. Eunho is making me swoon big time right now. Okay, how about a K-drama heroine that recently made you swoon?
So for me, it had been a little bit. Like I had to go back because, like, I mean, I've had K-drama heroines I've enjoyed, but I was like trying to go with swoon, where I was like, like, oh, I like have like, like it's like a girl crush, crushable moment. So I had to go back to Han Soon-hwa from My Sweet Mobster because I really did love this character. I mean, since then I've had other heroines I've enjoyed, but I just loved this person. And I was trying to think about it today, like what is it about her that made me just like really like her? And I think I'm going to say what I'm saying, and I think she embodies it. Is I am attracted to competence. Like I have a competence kink. And I think that I like
you will like Eunho then from
yes, I think I will.
Love Scout.
And so I liked how she in like unexpected or like, non-conventional ways demonstrates a lot of competence throughout the entire drama. And like very much like I like the Snow White aspect of like, you're in the house wrangling all the people, like you are, and so there was a lot there that I just really enjoyed with her.
Yeah. So the last one I fell for was Shin Min-ah from No Gain, No Love. I adored her character.
She was great.
I also love Shin Min-ah. Like, to be honest,
Kim Woo-bin is that whole relationship is just like any which way you spin, like everyone's winning.
It's fantastic. It's like a bisexual dream.
Yeah.
So I just loved her character. I love that she was sort of unashamedly wanting herself to benefit from things. Like I love that she was like, I don't want to lose out on things. And it's not like she did it to the detriment of others, but she wasn't going to be left behind. And she was such a go-getter. She had so much agency in this drama, so much agency, more than the hero for sure. And so I really loved her. And I also want to shout out other heroine because I'll never forget her, which is Duna. I fell so hard for Bae Suzy in Duna. She was so sexy in Duna, wasn't she? Her character was again that like clearly I like the tough exterior with like the bushy center always, and that's the way she was in Duna.
Yeah, I went back a little bit too because I mean obviously like if it doesn't have to be super recent. We can bend the rules here because the one that just came to mind is Kim Hae-yoon from Lovely Runner.
Oh, yes,
Lovely Runner.
she was great.
I just love her. She's adorable. I loved her in Extraordinary You. She's just like, she's spunky and I like that. She's scrappy. It's super cute. And I really loved her a lot. And she's a great heroine. So Valentine's Day isn't just for paramours. Love comes in all shapes and sizes. There's the love of a best friend, familial love, found familial love, and gasp, unrequited love. So let's talk about the dramas that best illustrate these many facets of love. So what's a drama with the best besties?
I have a few that I feel like hit so many of them that like I would go to. So I'm just not I'm going to try to do like a different answer for each one. But the best besties one that like neither of you have seen that I still really am just going to like, I'm going to keep mentioning it now and again just because I want to keep giving plugs for it. And it's Be Melodramatic. It's great besties and the roomies, and they're just like, I like ride or die friends. And are there other friendship dynamics that I've like really enjoyed, like Hospital Playlist, Reply? Like, you know, I can give a list of them, but I just always want to call out Be Melodramatic on my never ending plug to say this is just an unsung little hero of a drama that made me cry like a baby. And it's about writers writing and like the creative process. Like, you know, you've got a writer, you've got a director. Yeah, it's just, I really love it.
I'm going to say 2521. So this was a story about kids in high school. And, well, they were like the end of high school. And the friendships that were formed in this were probably some of my favorite friendships in all of K-dramas. So Kim Tae-ri was the lead. And she wants to be like a world-class fencer. And she has a rival played by Bo-ra. And watching them go from rivals to friends, I mean, I've talked about this drama before, but that friendship to me was the drama. I didn't care about the romance. I didn't, because I was so into this friendship between these two women. And to watch how their friendship evolved and maintained strong was just, oh man, it was so heartwarming. I loved it so much. And so for me, that's the lasting part of that drama. And there's also like there's like a friend group where it's funny because they have escapades together. It's great. But I would say like that was the main friendship that really hooked me.
So I'm going with a kind of unconventional one. And it is from Twinkling Watermelon, the characters of Eun-gyeol and Lee-chan. And Eun-gyeol is Lee-chan's son. But Eun-gyeol goes back in time to when his father is a teenager and becomes best friends with his dad. He knows it's his dad. His dad doesn't know that it's him. And it is so sweet and so wonderful. And I'm really bummed that you two never watched this drama. But yeah, they are such a great pair. And it obviously like changes their relationship, you know, very much in the future in a good way. It's a very, very good coming of age drama for both characters, for Eun-gyeol and Lee-chan, for, you know, how their connection sort of shapes both of their futures. I love this drama so much. Drama with a loving, supportive family. No parents trying to do dastardly things to you.
1988's the GOAT, always. Yeah. Like, I love 1988 families.
Yeah. They are the best.
You know, I'm going to say Go Back Couple. I actually really loved, even though, God, I don't know how to talk about Go Back Couple without revealing some things, but there was a lot of family elements in Go Back Couple that were very impactful to me. I always like the mother-daughter stuff is always going to get me. And that was a big one that I really felt the familial love and how, you know, a parent's support, like what that means to you.
Oh, yeah. So good. Every time that drama comes up, I want to watch it again.
Me too.
I was like, it was so good.
Yeah.
So I went with Queen of Tears. And even though I didn't like love the entire drama, I did love Baek Hyun-woo's family. And that's Kim Soo-hyun's character, because he comes from a small town, like where everyone knows everybody. And everybody, cares for everybody and everybody loves everybody. And his parents love him and are so supportive of him and supportive of his, I don't want to give like stuff away. Like we talked about this in the Queen of Tears podcast, but there is a point they get divorced. Okay.
Mhm.
It's not even like halfway through the drama. So this is not a huge spoiler because there's a lot that happens after the divorce. And one of the things that happens is that she and her family have to hide out from the public. They're like, the rich Chable family. And his family takes them in. And like the whole town takes them in. And it's so sweet and lovely and funny too. Okay. So how about a drama with a loving, supportive found family?
Yeah, so I'm going to say It's Okay Not to Be Okay. Moon Tae and Gang Tae are brothers. I know that. But what they form with, oh my gosh.
Ko Moon Young.
Ko Moon Young. What they form with her has its own family dynamics. Like, remember when she got like in that fight with Sangtae, the one played by Oh Jung-se? She got in like that like fist fight over like, I don't know, like a TV show or something. It was just such a cool dynamic between all of them. And especially for Ko Moon Young, she really needed that family that she never had.
Yeah.
And yeah, I often when I think of found family, I think of that little unit there.
For me, I'm going to go with Our Blues. Again, I already potted this one. I know you're not going to watch it, but if any of you are out there and have not watched a delightful ensemble cast where it kind of centers on a marketplace on Jeju Island. And so you've got like, clothes sellers to fishmongers to, people making soup. Just everybody's kind of like gathers in this market. And that kind of becomes like the family. And then the show is made up through vignettes. So you kind of watch different characters have like their story arc, which makes it really fun because they all feel fairly fresh. The first one is the most, like, stay with it because the first one I just feel like put everyone off because they're like, damn, that was a downer. But from there, like they're very heartfelt. And by the end, I think the first one holds. I just was a tough one to start out with. And it's one of the most life affirming, beautiful. I think it's one of the most well-made, beautiful K-dramas I've ever seen.
I'm going back to the beginning again with Crash Landing on You because Captain Ri and his ducklings and Yoon Suri and all the wives of the neighborhood. Like, I love that. And like Yoon Suri and Captain Ri and his ducklings too. Like, she is estranged from her entire family. And, for half of the drama, lost from her entire family, stuck in North Korea because of paragliding through a tornado. Yeah, I love how they are all there for each other in North Korea and in South Korea, because when Yoon Suri is in trouble back in South Korea, all of her North Korean ducklings show up to protect her, including Captain Ri. And it's a lovely found family, and I love them so much. Okay, this is actually, I love this. Drama with the best unrequited love that still makes your heart ache. And I feel like we can talk about love triangles here too, because I feel like the best unrequited love comes from a love triangle, because the person who loses, like, that love will never be requited.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it's so painful. And Leah, I knew who you were going to put, and I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I'll never be over it. I mean, Megan and I fell out on opposite ends of this drama, but I will always and forevermore stan Good Boy as the one who got away. That was like obscene to me that this was not Good Boy. I love Good Boy from startup. Again, it's get me with the yearning, get me with like the repression that like so many like romantic grand gestures that you just didn't believe in yourself enough to like take that step to like prove it. So this person opened themselves up in their heart in so many ways and yet hid so many parts of themselves. And I will be emotionally damaged by Good Boy forever. And I did write him an SOS that I honestly feel like is my favorite.
It's so
SOS.
good.
It's my favorite SOS I've ever written a character is Good Boys.
So, I mean, everyone should probably know what I'm going to say, which is Eun-gi from Her Private Life, played by An Do-hyun. I will always root for Eun-gi. He was the heroine's like kind of like stepbrother. Like, they weren't related, but they kind of grew up together. And the things he clearly would like do things for her. He understood her. He knew how to keep her secret that she was this like idol fan girly. And when he confessed his love with his sad little suit, it was just too late. She had already fallen for Ryan Gold. And I don't know why that one like has stuck with me. Like there's been a million
It's a
other
good one, but it's a good one. And
There's
I feel like now knowing An Bo-hyun way better.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I will have different feelings about Eungi if I went back and watched it. Because Leah and I came to that drama from Coffee Prince. We were there for Ryan Gold.
Right. I was not. I was there.
I know.
As soon as An Bo-hyun came on the screen, I was like, Ryan Gold who? Like, I am sorry. I know that is an unpopular opinion, but that's how much I love An Bo-hyun. So,
I mean, I'm going back to my standby, which is still Cho Young-do, Kim Woo-bin from The Heirs. Like, that will always be my favorite character in a love triangle who didn't get the girl. And even though I went to that drama for Lee Min-ho, for Kim Tan, I came away from that drama with Kim Woo-bin and needing to see more of him. Did he deserve the girl in that drama? Absolutely not. Like, he was a bully and he was damaged goods, so many emotional boo-boos that he had to take care of before he could love anybody at all the right way. But like, you knew that. You saw that damage. You saw, what he was going through. Like, he was, had an abusive relationship with his father, and his mother left. My heart breaks for him, like, just thinking about that character. I loved him so much, and I will always root for him. Okay. Our favorite romance stories rely heavily on the chemistry between the leads, but it also helps if a familiar K-drama trope like, say, a back hug is thrown in. So what is your current favorite when it comes to K-drama romance tropes?
I went with giving a coat, maybe because I've been feeling chilly because it's been like 50 degrees here. But
50. It's 28 today.
There's just something real, because I was trying to think of like which one like really gets me in like the heart, because a lot of them I just kind of accept as like, yep, check it off the list. Like, this is going to happen and we move on. But that one, there's just something about it that always gets me, of the giving of the coat, because they're always like big and puffy. And I know what it feels like to be, I don't like to feel cold. I don't like to feel hot either. I like to feel very temperate.
And so you live where you live.
I mean, my body has adjusted very much to the climate I'm in. Yeah, the idea of being like shivery and cold and being like, oh, this is like misery, and there's like wind and it's like, bleh. And then somebody's like, here's my like, yeah, there's just something I love it.
So I think this one's on my mind because it's happened in Singles Inferno a few times, which of course I am watching and up to date on, but it's the leaning the head on the shoulder, especially when the man is like, oh no, like forcibly like puts her head on his shoulder. Like, you're gonna lean here, baby. You're gonna fall asleep on my shoulder. I love it.
I do. I love that too. That was I was like, I went between the two.
So when I jotted this note down earlier this afternoon, I did not realize that it totally tracks with my love language. So I will never get tired of the umbrella. Somebody comes, hero or heroine comes and puts an umbrella over your head when it's raining. Like, that is an act of service. And it never gets old for me. And then kissing under an umbrella, why is it so fucking romantic? It is. I love it.
Yeah.
Another staple in romance entertainment is the big romantic gesture, which we've talked about before. So today, let's go in another direction. Some romantic gestures are so subtle, something one romantic lead does for the other, that might go unnoticed by the recipient of the gesture. In fact, the gesture isn't intended for notice, but only to make the receiver happy. Of course, we, the audience, absolutely notice the gesture in swoon. Do you have a favorite subtle romantic gesture in a K-drama?
So I went back and watched this just to like remind myself, and I got the feels all over again. And it's from Hospital Playlist, and it's a scene where it's Ukjun and Mido, and they're just eating and yapping. And she asks him, like, what's a treat you give yourself? And his answer is having a meal with you. Just basically like this moment, like just this is the treat I give myself, is like this minute that we're having, just kind of doing nothing. And there's that like song by Bruno Major that's like the whole chorus is like, there's nothing like doing nothing with you. And it really, like, that song lyric, I like that song. I think it's romantic. And this kind of embodies that, of just, what do you do to treat yourself? I do nothing with you, is essentially what he's saying.
My God, I love that man.
So again, I have said how I do not like grand gestures. I like subtle things. I like things that are going to make a difference to me. And I actually had to like Google some things because I wasn't sure. But then I was reminded of this scene, which is in Mad for Each Other, when the hero, he can clearly see that the heroine is not comfortable a lot of times in public, in large crowds, around men. And he gives her a whistle. And he says, if you're scared, something happens, blow it, and I'll come. And there's a scene, and I mean, who doesn't like want that? Like, who doesn't want someone to be like, you're scared, blow this and I'll come. Like, come on. And then the scene where she does blow it just because she was drunk, and he comes running. And then he kind of like scolds her, I think, for drinking too much, because that's why she blew it. Just small. I mean, I don't even think that's a small gesture. To me, that's actually kind of a big one, but it's not performative at all, because he fucking comes. He's a cop. He knows.
I love that drama so much.
Me too. Actually,
so
I want to rewatch it, because I remember really loving the chemistry between that couple too. And there were a lot of little things like that. Oh, actually, no. Even another one. He gives her his shoes to put by the door, so that if anyone who comes in will think a man lives there, to help her feel safe. Do you remember that?
Yes.
That one too. I love it.
So good.
Yeah.
So I had one jotted down that was from Love Scout, but then I just thought of another one that I think I like even better because it's the heroine doing it. So I'm gonna.
Oh yeah.
So the heroine, Kang Ji-yeon, she is the CEO of this headhunting agency, and Yoo Eun-ho is her assistant. And there is a scene where she is in a building, like meeting with somebody, and she tells him to wait in the car, that she's doing this on her own. So he's sitting outside waiting in the car, and it's a beautiful sunny day, and he dozes off, and his head's like leaning against the window. And this is when you know that they're like catching feelings, but like they don't know that they're catching feelings, kind of thing. So he dozes off, and his head's leaning against the window, and the sun is glaring over his eyes. She could just get in the car.
Stop.
And wake him up and go.
Yeah.
But what does she do? She backs up, stands against the window so that the sun is hitting her and not hitting him, and lets him sleep.
That is such a good gesture. I've seen that gesture a few times where like they'll like put the hand over them while they're sleeping.
Yes.
It's the best gesture ever.
Yes.
I love it. I'll never get tired of that one.
Oh, it was so good. Like,
I love that.
And she just let him sleep.
Oh, I love it. That's a really good one.
It's so good. I need you guys to watch it. I need you to watch it.
I know. I will.
Okay. We're going to wrap things up, everybody.
Finally.
I know. Why did I say I would edit this in a week? Okay. So to wrap things up today, what drama would you recommend to watch on Valentine's Day?
So I'm going to recommend 2 BLs and a non-BL. I think I'm taking one of yours, Amy, but you listed a couple. So
yeah, that's fine.
First, I'm going to recommend, like, if I want to watch something, say for Valentine's Day, just because I want some feels, I want like a short, sweet, whatever. That would be Semantic Error, which is a BL, a Korean BL. And I'm also going to recommend Love to Hate You, which again is one of your recommendations, but
no, I've got a whole list. It's fine.
It's just so good because it's just short and sweet, and
it literally is just a rom-com. Like there's very little trauma. Like,
and it's like sexy, and I just love it. And then I'm gonna recommend Roommates of Poonduck 304. That's another BL that I really, really loved. Short, sweet, fun, and romantic.
I did 2. And one's not a Korean drama, but, bear with me.
It's
so
fine.
I did King's Affection as my Korean drama. I still can't believe that.
I'm going to watch it.
This is another one that just kind of like shocks me that like we haven't done as like the 3 of us. But
I know.
And the reason I'm going to say that it's really great is for 2 things. One, I do I just have a preference. I just don't love gender. I just don't. And blah. And so anything that kind of like, gets out of that, I'm like a fan of. And so, yeah, we have the heroine essentially is pretending to be the king and does a very good job. And then Rowan is just the goldeny retriever. And I love that element too. Like I like having kind of like the masculine feminine and then the feminine masculine. Like that's my bag. So if I had to sell it like to Megan, I'd be like, that's the drama. Like, yes, there's some fucking land deals, but for the most part, the drama is like a very, very masculine woman and a very, very feminine man. And in the sense of like just playing with like, you know, we just can be out of those binaries.
Yeah.
And then for Megan or Amy, my sales pitch is it's Rowan.
Yeah.
And then I am going to throw in Old Fashioned Cupcake. Just because I've talked about this in the past. It is a short BL. It's a Japanese BL. It is about two men, and essentially they go on a. Have you watched this one, Megan?
Yep, and it's adorable and sweet. It's really
adorable.
good.
It's short, and they connect by like going out like girls would essentially, and like taking cute photos of their food and like enjoying.
All about them going out and honestly being like Instagram girlies with fun desserts. Like that is literally
grown men. Like they're not like young high school boys. They're like, you know, 30, 40 something office workers. And this is like how they fall in love. And then they have the sexiest finger in the mouth scene like that I've seen on the screen.
It's great. It's a really great, sweet, romantic BL. That's a good one. I forget about that one a lot just because it was so like short. Do you know what I mean? So I tend to forget about it.
And I mean, I've mentioned it like 3 times already, but Love Scout is not done yet as of when we're recording this. It is only 12 episodes, I believe, going to be 12 episodes. And unless it somehow goes to Argon.
And I was just going to say, is it going to go to, if it doesn't go to Argon.
If it doesn't go to Argon,
okay.
It's going to be a win for me. It's going to be, the hero and heroine have such great chemistry. I love it. If you want to talk competence porn, like we've got a hero who is a single dad, who's like the most organized person in the world. He's got calendars. He's got color coding.
Oh gosh, Amy's all about it.
Oh my God.
The spreadsheet.
Oh my God. Like I can't even with this guy. Yeah, so good. And yeah, Lee Jun-hyuk. I can't say enough about this guy, especially the character of Eun-ho. And then if you want to like do a deep dive into some fantasy and you want 30 episodes, Alchemy of Souls all the way. And for some time travel swoons, Lovely Runner. And these are all romances that might not seem like it at some point for some of them, but they're romances, which means they have what you expect in the ending.
Yeah, as much as I love Mr. Plankton, please do not watch that on Valentine's Day.
Don't watch that for Valentine's Day. Absolutely not.
Do not watch Mr. Plankton for Valentine's Day. Okay. Pick anything else. Anything.
Watch Mr. Plankton.
Yes.
Just not
on Valentine's Day.
Not if you want.
You care about that thing. That type of thing. If you care about like just wanting to celebrate love. Oh God.
So this was long and this was fun. And you know what? I have zero regrets or apologies for how long we talked in the beginning because you know we haven't been together in a while.
Yeah.
We needed to catch up.
We did. It's fine. This was a fun one. I had a really good time. Like I said, my kids have off school tomorrow, so I can like sleep in a little bit.
I can't, but you know, it's fine.
Yeah. Why do you have no school tomorrow?
There's a ice storm coming tonight and they just already canceled.
It's wild.
Yeah, well, it's a like an online day, so it's technically still a day, but they don't have to.
You guys still do that? Our district isn't allowed to do that.
Yeah, we have those. That's why they're usually so quick to cancel. It is supposed to be a really bad ice storm tonight, though, like bad, like so. It's probably fair. Although I'm supposed to go to the dentist tomorrow, so I don't know how that's going to go. But whatever. Okay, guys. Well, it was good to chat. This was a lot of fun. I had a really good time tonight, so thank you.
Same. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Annyeong.
Annyeong. Kamsahamnida. Thank you for listening to Afternoona Delight. Where can you find us outside the pod? Head on over to afternoonadelight.com. That's AFTERNOONADELIGHT.com. You'll find links to all our social media, our book recs, K-pop and K-skincare recs, and if you want even more Afternoona Delight, because really who doesn't, you can join our Patreon, where you can choose the patron level that's right for you. Join in daily K-drama conversations, listen to bonus podcast episodes just for patrons, and participate in our monthly live K-drama support group via Zoom. We can't wait for you to be a part of the community. Until next time, annyeong!